Hola amigos, estoy aquí con un grande de The Division 2. Estamos en San Francisco y bueno, voy a dejar que él se presente. Thank you, Julian, for being here with us. Thank you for your time. Could you introduce yourself, please?
My name is Julian Gerighty. I'm the creative director on The Division 2.
What are the top reasons that we should play The Division 2?
I think it depends what you're looking for. At the end of the day, for me, when I think of a game, it's all about why am I playing this? And in this case, in The Division 2, it's all about taking back Washington, D.C., an iconic city. And it's a city that's being completely transformed by this virus. And of course, there are going to be factions running the streets, and you're going to have to push them back. And taking back the city is, for me, super exciting. On top of this, we've added lots of civilians, and civilians who have regrouped together in settlements. And you're going to have to find those settlements and help them out. So there's a macro story of saving the city and saving the soul of America, but also these micro stories of civilians that you have to protect.
Wow, that sounds really, really cool. Actually, we got the hands-on game, and well, we felt that the weapon and the gear improvement system was like a huge difference. I mean, it's a lot more intuitive, it's quicker, it's easier. What are the other big things, big changes that this new open world will have?
So I think I'm super happy that you picked up on the shooting, because we worked very hard on making it feel much more visceral and immediate as a shooter experience. But on top of that, I spoke about the civilians, and the civilians play a unique role within the game. They go out into the open world as a faction, armed, and have to collect resources. And while they're outside in the streets, of course they're going to be attacked by other factions. And that creates emergent gameplay opportunities. On top of this, we have locations like control points or hostage rescue missions that are proposed to you with a dynamic open world, living world simulation.
Everyone that was playing, they were like having a really different experience. It was as if they were playing different games. How did you manage to create this feeling?
I think one of the challenges when you create a game like this is to create a world that feels like it contains enough activities that you want to play. And again, your decisions, your autonomy as a player, what you decide to play is key. We want to give you that freedom. So if you want to do a main mission in one of those iconic locations in Washington, D.C., the Air and Space Museum, the Capitol, the Lincoln Memorial, you can do that. But there are a lot of side missions that are super fun to do as well. And they could be in the FBI office, they could be in the MLK library, they can be in the streets of Washington, D.C. too. So crafting different experiences that suit different tastes and suit different build styles is exactly what makes this game so special.
Wow. And The Division 1 came with a lot of post-launch content. What can we expect from The Division 2?
So when we launched The Division 1, we launched with things that we knew we wanted to improve and to push forwards. And we had 3 major DLCs: Underground, Survival, and Last Stand. And one of the things that we wanted to do on The Division 2 is launch with a much more pushed package at launch. So having Endgame as a real focus at launch, and then for the entire first year, deliver all of our post-launch content for free. We don't want to split the community. We don't want to exclude some players from those activities. So we're really attached to that thing.
I wanted to ask you, you said the civilians will have a major role in this game. What about the factions? How will they affect the game and change the world around us?
So the factions are really important, and it's one of the major themes and story threads that we have in the game. You have 3 major factions that are running around the streets of Washington, D.C. The Outcasts, the Hyenas, and the True Sons. And each one has a headquarters, which are strongholds. And these are some of the hardest missions in the game. And of course, you're going to have to kick them out of their strongholds to free the city from their hold.
This new open world is bigger than the last one, and it's also like a replica of Washington DC. How was the process of digitally building this big, living, breathing city?
So you're right, it's 20% bigger than Midtown Manhattan, the Midtown Manhattan that we created for the Division 1. But to help us build it, what we did was we used GIS data and LiDAR data. Basically the information that your GPS in your car uses to create the city. And that cut hundreds of man hours out of the development of the recreation of the city. This said, we still had to build everything and then transform everything by hand. So our artists spent a lot of time thinking about how would 7 months of not being taken care of affect this one building? How would this virus have affected the use of this stadium or this art gallery? And thinking of those things and then recreating it in-game.
And the game is always changing. I mean, the map every time is changing. We'll see some things new in this end game that will change the map again. So you need to do all that work like twice or thrice or I don't know how many times, right?
Efficiency in terms of our production processes allows us to create changes within the main missions that change the atmosphere completely for when the endgame invasion starts. Now, what that is that once you reach endgame, once you've finished the campaign, once you've kicked the True Sons out of the capital, you open up the invasions, where a new faction descends on the map and takes over every single main mission, every single stronghold, and is injected within the living world simulation. What that means is that we've constructed a progression, a campaign within Endgame to lead you to the ultimate world tier.
So we have another faction adding up. If you would need to join one of these, who would it be? Like the Outcasts, the Hyenas? I don't know.
For me, definitely the civilian faction, because that's the faction that I want to fight for. I'm super excited about getting everybody to play the Division 2. And our private beta goes live on the 7th of February. There are 2 ways to access this. One, to guarantee your access to the beta, you can pre-order now. But you can also sign up on the Division's website to maybe get access to the beta too.
Bueno amigos, esas fueron las palabras de Julian, así que para enterarse de todo lo de The Division 2, por favor síganos en el canal, activen la campanita, yo soy Rocolés, nos vemos en el siguiente video.